Hello, happy Sunday afternoon to you. It has been a couple of months since I have made a YouTube video. It is no great secret that I am not a huge fan of social media and putting myself out there on social media, despite the fact that I want to be an author who actually sells books, not just an author who writes books. I do not know if seeing my face with my goofy reading glasses will make you want to go out and buy my books, but it's my hope that I can convince you to buy my books. I have exciting news. My second book in my Delivery Driver series is out, Delivering Second Chances. This is the book cover. Please just ignore the not for resale ribbon. That is what Amazon puts on books that authors order before their books are available. And I always get a proof copy because I wanted to know what it looks like. And I think they do that so that you can't buy a bunch of books and sell them before they're available on Amazon. They want to be the first place your books are for sale at. Okay, so it makes sense, I understand, but so just ignore that when it comes to examining this beautiful design that has 2 out of 3 of the most beautiful things in the world. Those things being classic trucks, dragonflies, and accordions. There was really no context to squeeze an accordion on this cover. Therefore, well, and I'm not the artist anyway, but my book cover artist managed to put Hector's truck, his 1978 Chevy Silverado, on the cover, and a dragonfly writing a note that says, "I love you, I can't stop." Anyway, I think it's beautiful. I love classic trucks, so I'm kind of living vicariously through my book character, Hector, because that's the truck I want, and I just gave it to him because I just am way too practical. I drive practical vehicles, and driving a classic truck is my dream, sort of my fantasy that I'm going to have someday. It's been my fantasy since high school, and here I am, long after high school, and I haven't bought one yet. But I just admire them from afar because like I said, I'm just way too practical when it comes to vehicles. And that is very sad, right? Yeah. Let me tell you a little bit about this book cover. It was done by Clorinda Fresquez-Tria. She's my friend who not only does my book covers, well, she did this one, and she's done this one. Yes, this was for the first book, Delivering Hope. This is the second book, Delivering Second Chances. So she had done this book cover, and she made me this beautiful wall art. She is an amazing quilter, but she's not just a quilter. She painted this and then did stitching work on it. She teaches classes on how to do this kind of work. So if you think that is amazing and you would like to learn how to do that, you can look up Clorinda Fresquez-Tria on Google, and you will find her website and her Facebook that will tell you when her next class is, because she gives classes. I can also put the link in my description to her website, and I will do that. She always posts on Facebook too when she'll be having classes, so it's worth it to go check out her Facebook as well. But I will put a link to her, well, I could put a link to her Facebook too, I guess. And I'll put a link to this book because I know you're going to want to buy this. It's funny. It's Roswell, New Mexico murder mystery ghost story, just like the first one. This one, I'm going to read to you the the book blurb on the back, or the back cover copy, whatever you want to call that. I'm going to read it to you because it would be the easiest way to tell you what the book is about. That's why I spent all this time trying to write it. I had started out asking AI for help, and AI helped me to write it, but it wasn't right. So I had to rewrite it, and I had help. I had help from writer friends on Facebook who helped me, gave me ideas, and finally I came up with this that really doesn't have any AI in it. And I'm just talking about the back cover copy. My book, I never use AI to write a book. Like, I would never do that because my writing is a little bit absurd in a way that AI couldn't come up with. Like, AI might come up with something absurd, but it's not going to be very human absurd. It's going to be AI absurd, which is just like uncanny valley type of thing. And yeah, I've heard about, there's like wars about people like writing AI books, and or a significant portion was done by AI, and yeah, that you're never gonna find that with my books. Like, trust me, there's just no possible way that would happen. AI is useful for editing. AI is useful for summaries. AI, the old spelling and grammar checks. I mean, basically that's AI. So when we run those systems, that's AI, but it's not perfect because you have to have human brains behind it. And I also hire a human editor. So I will hire a human editor, and then because I only pay for one editing pass, then I will, after I do my editing that she sends me, then I will run it through grammar and spell check. So that's kind of like AI use, I guess. I mean, it's as good as anything AI. It's been around for a long time, so it's a lot better than it used to be for sure. But still, if you were just to go with that, like it would definitely like misspell words and accept homonyms or over their homonym counterpart that you really want. Yeah, because AI just doesn't really have a brain, and it won't accept slang, and there's all kinds of reasons why you have to have a human brain in operation and not just AI. Anyway, it's also, AI is really great at book summaries. If you get really lost in the process of writing a book and you want to remember exactly how things were laid out, because sometimes you can get mired right back in the same spot if you go back through and reread your book, and then you're just mired again. But AI can come up with summaries of a plot fairly quickly, and I think as the author you should know whether that summary is correct or not. And I thought AI Copilot did a really great job summarizing for me. That helped me to know where I was at when I was finishing up my book, and also writing the final edits. That was very useful to me. AI is useful. It's a tool, okay? It's really not for writing books or artwork. Although I think even my book cover artist, she uses AI as like starting points, like mock-ups. She'll use AI, for whatever ideas she has, and when she's trying to put all these things together, and then she has to, do the final work on her own to really make it good. And if you go in here, so yeah, this is her artwork with whatever help she uses with AI. I know she uses it a little bit. So this, if you go to this cover, I have Copilot just because I have a Microsoft subscription. So anybody with a Microsoft subscription has Copilot, and Copilot did this title page for me, just the truck. So that Hector's truck here and Hector's truck here, I didn't want to put more work on my book cover artist, so I did not ask her to do the title page. I just described his Silverado to Copilot, and I asked it to put a rosary in there because I am Catholic and the characters are Catholic, so that's very important to them. So you can see it has a rosary, and there's this truck. That's what Copilot came up with, and I think it's fine for a title page. I think it's fine. Anyway, no, I was going to read you the blurb after all that long getting derailed by thoughts of AI. I mean, AI is on everybody's minds these days, right? Because authors have been caught using AI to write books, and it's no bueno. Like, well, I mean, if you read a book and you don't notice it's AI and you enjoy it, then I guess really what does it matter? But the only way AI can come up with books is because they've basically stolen and compiled elements of many people's works. And so, yeah, I mean, I guess we as humans, we do the same thing. We read a ton of books and then we write a book, and we don't know precisely what in there that may have been influenced by a previous author or an element that was in a previous author's book. We do that. We don't live in vacuums. Humans don't live in vacuums, and AI certainly doesn't. Anyway, but that's all I have to say is that the back cover copy started out being AI done, and then went completely like outside. Yeah, I don't even know if there's even one sentence in here that is still done by AI. I will read it to you. Second chances sometimes show up in mysterious packages. When overworked PDEX driver Hector Redas agrees to train his on-again, off-again girlfriend Aurora's son to deliver packages to the worst residences in Roswell, New Mexico, he expects a long day. Not a murder at the PDEX warehouse, a missing delivery driver, and more of Roswell's ghosts that want to steer the investigation. With Aurora begrudgingly acting as his secretary and an entire team of unqualified detectives from the local Catholic Church, including a priest, Hector is pulled into a bizarre investigation that threatens everything he values. Sure, he delivers second chances to widows and orphans, but where are his? Poor Hector. He gets beat up a lot. His truck gets beat up. I actually do a lot of damage to this truck in this book. I am sorry. I am a cruel, evil, maleficent, something. I'm a cruel author. I do mean things. I think in the third book, his truck, by the end of the book, his truck's still not fixed up. Yeah, I know. It gets crashed, and I just had to do that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. But it will get fixed, and he will have his truck looking gleaming and beautiful in the third book. That's what we hope. About an hour ago, I spent some time listening to, I don't know when that third book's going to be done, and that's what actually spawned what I'm about to say. I spent some time listening to a vlogger, Cozy Creative, she calls herself. She's a full-time writer, and I love listening to her videos. I just love it. She's just, she has a soothing voice. She's very relatable. She's fascinating to listen to, so I really recommend that you listen to her videos. But she had this video, like this post-move, she just moved, and so she's trying to like reestablish her life after the move, and she talks about going to a sort of 9-to-5 writing schedule, and then what she proceeds to describe as a 9-to-5 schedule really isn't a 9-to-5 schedule, which is the funniest part about it, is that this is what she's deciding, that she's going to do this 9-to-5, and it's really not 9-to-5. Like, she gets up at 9 and she kind of just like eases into her day with her hot cocoa and the like, which is wonderful. And she spends some time doing marketing and editing YouTube videos and answering people's messages on YouTube, that sort of thing, because YouTube is her main platform for making videos. And I thought that was hilarious. So she gets up, she doesn't write yet. She's published so many books. She's published way more many books than I have. I'm not judging her when I say this. I just think it's funny that she talks about writing on a 9-to-5 schedule, but she really doesn't write on a 9-to-5 schedule. A lot of it's doing other things that you have to do to live. And one of those is drinking your hot cocoa. Everybody's got to have their breakfast, and you got to do marketing, because you're not going to sell me books if you don't market. Yeah, like that's where I am at. People, friends, I don't market, and I can't even make videos regularly. I just get too exhausted. I don't want to do. I go through social media burnout on such a regular basis. I just can't keep up. But I will try to make one video a week, because look it, I'm full of energy, and at least I am for now. Today I'm full of energy. Anyway, I'll try to make a video, but yeah, she actually makes and edits her videos, and she talks about relevant topics that people want to hear. At least I enjoy hearing about. That's the most important part, is your content has to be interesting to listen to, right? Yes. So, and then she takes this really long break for lunch. She makes like the full meal for lunch, and then does other things, with her significant other, and it's just enjoyable, like for like 3 hours in the middle of the day. But because she works from home and she's a full-time writer, she can do that. But again, still, it's not really a 9-to-5, which is hilarious. And then she said she goes back to working on her YouTube videos a little more, and then she finally gets to writing, And she has a completely different schedule than I do, because she gets up at 9 and she goes to bed much later. But anyway, it just got me thinking about how I can finish the sequel to Order of the Pentragon faster, so I can get back to writing the third book in this series. I don't know. When I have had writing staycations, which I have done, and my next vacation that I'm taking, I'm not doing a staycation. I'm going to go visit my two of my children who live out of state. I want to go visit them. That's what I'm doing for my next vacation. I'm not staying here, and I'm not working on my books. But my last vacation, I did that. I did a staycation, and it wasn't the first one I had done. I had done a couple of others like that. It's convenient when you actually have paid vacations at your work. You can do that. And when I did those staycations, I pretty much stuck to my schedule of that I would have, if I were to go to work, except instead of going to work, I sat down and worked on my books. So that for me, my schedule really is an 8 to 5 schedule, just like my work schedule, where I get up at 6 a.m., I do a workout, I eat breakfast, and then I would sit down around 8 to work on my books, and that's all I was doing. Like, I wasn't really doing social media. One writing staycation I had, I was doing these really short like Facebook reels based off of the my writing day that I had, but that was it. And I guess that is social media, so at least I was putting the time in to do that. But I wasn't really like doing intense editing or anything like that. I was just being dumb on camera, basically, after my day writing. I think that if I were to be able to stay at home and write full time, yeah, I would keep to an 8 to 5 schedule. I would get up and I'd do my workout. I'd go for a walk at some point, because I do I do like a more focused workout, and then I go for a walk later in the day. That's just how I do things. Some people walk in the morning. For some reason, I don't enjoy that. It's really nice, like the light and everything is fresh outside. But for some reason, taking a walk early just exhausts me and makes me feel like I want to go back to bed. I think it's because for me, walking is very relaxing. I think that's why, instead of psyching me up for the day, like doing strength training or whatever I'm doing at the moment. I do something different every day, but yeah, it's more, I do more the traditional workout, and I just do it in my living room. I have for years and years. Just get up and do a workout in my living room. It's great, you don't have to even pay for a gym or really like get yourself where you look like a decent human being, to go to the gym. Because yeah, no. I'm not really a gym culture person. I'm cheap. I can get up and roll out of bed and do a workout right there in my living room. That's the type of person. Anyway, if I were to be able to do that, I would stick to that schedule, but I would spend time editing, and I would spend time marketing. So I would have 3 parts instead of just writing or editing a book that I'm currently working on. I would have one book that I'm writing new, another book that I'm getting ready to publish, and then I would do marketing. And it would be so easy to fit that in the day. But instead, I have an 8 to 5 job. And that means that when I come home from work and I'm tired and I'm I'm an aspiring accordion player, I want to play the accordion too, that means that I maybe get in an hour of writing. I can write 1,000 words in 45 minutes. So if I'm in the very rough draft stage, I can manage that. I can write 1,000 words a day. I can do that in 45 minutes. If I'm on top of it and really focused, I kind of have to put the right music on and just go with the flow type of thing. But it does create a lot of, when you write that fast, it does create a lot more editing at the end. And like I said, I had to use, for my last book, I didn't have to, but I used Copilot to help me summarize my book, because I had written it like that. The entire book, except for the staycations that I'd taken, it had been done in these like bursts where I'd write like 1,000 words in 45 minutes, and then you get it all out on paper, but there's a lot of mess at the end. But having I really summarize and focus, like even a chapter by chapter summary was really great. And it can do that in like seconds where it would take a human a long time. AI is a tool. I'm not opposed to it. I don't think that I would enjoy reading an AI written book. I've never written AI work that I enjoyed, and it's pretty obvious when it is AI. I think AI is getting better, but I still, it's just not my thing. I don't want to. I'm pretty much into my own style of writing, and that's that's just the way it is. I don't know, it's just a fantasy, I look at my life and I think, wouldn't it be great to stay at home and write books full time and do marketing and editing and just to be on top of it, getting books written quicker than, since 2013, I have published 6 books and my 7th is almost done. So if I get it done in 2027, that will be 7 books in 14 years, which is approximately a book every 2 years, although it hasn't been that evenly spaced, unfortunately, because life just throws you things, and it does to even people who stay at home writing full time, like the cozy creative, like she was talking about. Life just throws you things. And on my last staycation, I actually talked to my book cover artist, and I thought, well, she's my friend. She's my emotional support, and hopefully I'm her emotional support too. And so yeah, I just wanted to talk to her, but at the same time, she's my book cover artist, so I can kind of consider it part of the full-time writing job. If I had it, I could spend an hour talking to my book cover artist. I think that's fair, right? Even if she is your friend. And I think I also talked to my sister. I did 2 other things to make it more vacation-y, and one of them was we have Yoli's. We have this place called Yoli's where they have like popsicles and ice cream and fresas con crema, which is what I like. I like the fresas con crema. So I went and got myself one of those for a break on one of my writing days. And then on one evening, I went to visit a local band venue where if you all remember when I did an interview, when I was trying to do interviews, like Roswell interviews, I interviewed an accordion player named Fabian Anaya. So he was playing with another lady. I can't remember what their band together. It was Grupo Maldad is his band, but they had another name with the lady. And the lady had a beautiful voice. I really wanted the sound system to turn up her volume a little bit because her volume wasn't loud enough for me, compared to the background music. And Fabian's vocals were really resonant and loud, but hers were not as resonant and loud, but she had a beautiful voice. So I'm like, come on now, turn the girl up. Anyway, so I did that on the Friday night, and I didn't stay out too late. I just stayed for a couple hours listening to some music, and it was fun. And then I came home, and that was it. That was the last vacation I had. The 2 little fun things in there in the whole week, but it was great. Anyway, I'm going to post a link to my Amazon. I'm going to post a link to my website, and I will post a link to my book cover artist's website as well, so that if you love her artwork, you can learn how to do this beautiful thread painting. So it's traditionally painted, and then there's also thread painting is what she calls it. And I think that's amazing. She does this mixed media work, which is, to me, just fascinating. It's something different. It's unusual. It's beautiful. That's all I have for today, and I hope that I will come back next week. Next weekend's going to be tough because I have a lot going on next weekend. So, yeah. We'll see. I'll try to make a video next weekend, and I'll try to get back to doing this on Sunday afternoons. It's Sunday I come home from Mass and I just want to just sleep with a book. But I did a lot of that yesterday. I did a lot of sleeping and reading. So I kind of got that out of my system. Maybe if I can do that on Saturdays, but next Saturday it's not going to happen. And a lot of Saturdays it's not going to happen either. Like, for example, you see this lamp back here with this beautiful lampshade? That lampshade that has dragonflies. If you can't probably see it in this video, but it has dragonflies on it. I bought this and a couple of other matching lamps at the Altar and Rosary garage sale last weekend, but I was actually working at the garage sale for the Altar and Rosary Society, and that took hours, and it was a lot of effort to do that. It involved getting up early and staying there and helping clean up, and my day was pretty much like gone after that. Anyway, that's it. That's all I have to say, but it's a beautiful lamp, right? I'm surrounded by dragonflies. I've got dragonflies here. I got my dragonfly there. I've got a dragonfly here. Yeah, I'm surrounded by beauty. So thanks for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day.